Welcome in. We are going to deep dive and dissect your psychological so we can see what is going on under the surface. So important to stay aligned. I'm going to pull 3 cards. They're going to represent the energy that you're currently working with right now. These cards are flipping out. That's a great symbol. So you may be having a very impactful moment right now, and you've come here to potentially get confirmed or validated. I feel like we're working with potentially a relationship. The first card that flew out is exhaustion. So let's look at this. Okay, so we've got friendliness, participation, and we also have exhaustion, which is interesting having that in the 3rd position. The first position is mind, so friendliness. You may be overstepping, you're over pleasing, you're overextending yourself. So it's asking you in the present moment to just participate. You are not the end all be all. You cannot carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. So Spirit is saying, listen, you are actually headed for exhaustion. You are overextending. So if you're here asking for discernment, if you're saying, should I or shouldn't I? No, you should not. You should sit back, stay in a sense of stillness for just a moment and say, should I or shouldn't I? And so just for you, I'm going to go ahead and pull 2 cards for 2 different paths. I want you to close your eyes and think about both paths. I'm going to pull a card for the first path that you're thinking about. This is the first pathway. And now I'm going to pull a card for the second pathway. Here it is. Okay. So the first pathway is karmic relationships. Orion, energy, polarity, and soul growth is in conflict. So the first path is going to create conflict for you. The second path is riding past wrongs, uprooting. So if you have 2 pathways, I would say the second pathway is the one that you're going to want to go down. This first pathway, right? You're overextending yourself. You're still feeding karmic relationships. We're always at a completion point. I can make every video and say you're in completion, because basically every night that you go to bed, you've just completed a cycle. You've completed a day, but what you're doing is you're pulling yesterday into today. You don't want to give homage to anything that isn't serving your highest version, your highest will. This is your life. This is your proclamation. Okay, I'm going to look at the emotions on the first path. We're going to look at what emotions that is activating within you right now. Perseverance, workaholic, renewal. So you can already see that this first path is karmic. It is like karmic cycles. That's karma is cycles. When you step out of cycles, when you start to step into alignment, karma dissolves, because now you're receiving reciprocity. It's just a beautiful flow of reciprocity. That's the difference between karma and no karma. So you are at a karmic completion point. It's your choice to step into writing your past. The only way you write your past is you become successful in your present. Okay, this next one, I've got mysticism, wisdom, and prayer. So again, I'm going to go ahead and pull 3 more cards. The first cards, remember, they were friendliness, participation, and exhaustion. So we've got overextending yourself. You're participating in something that you don't want to, that's not bringing you joy, and it's okay to walk away. You can walk away anytime you want. In fact, people admire you for taking initiative action in your life and coming up with the right choices and decisions. So, okay. So now we've got fighting, mind, and experiencing. So then the second path is you advocating for yourself, standing up for yourself, stepping into your full power, speaking your truth, having self-regulation, heart-head connection, experiencing, stepping into your vision, your potential, your possibilities. So I would say the second path is the one that you'd want to go down. And Spirit's asking me to pull a planet. Oof, there it is. Goodness gracious. I pulled this card a couple of times this week. You've got financial success. This is the second house. This is the house of Taurus energy. Venus, sensuality, singing, dancing. It has to do with moving your body, feeling amazing. All of the things that, like it's the apple. It's the apple, right? You got the apple, the Garden of Eden. You've got all the coins representing financial prosperity. You've got the unfolding of the blueprint. Okay, and I'm getting just something really subtle here. Like I'm gonna see what your blocks are. What needs to be surrendered for you to see the clear path? I always say, have this reading and let it resonate for a minute. It doesn't always have to be instant, but just give it a little while. Like we're putting some seasoning in the pot and you got to kind of let it marinate for a minute. I always say, don't make a choice unless it's a holy hell yes. Surrender to the wonder of awe. Open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy and flow. That's pretty amazing. Okay, let's look at some I'm going to pull some ride or die cards here. The Rider-Waite deck. Ride or die. These are my ride or die cards. This is the only deck I would ever need my entire life. Okay, the Hermit. Nice. So here you go. The Hermit. So the Hermit, Virgo energy, service. There's enough to go around for everyone. The Virgo energy is very clear, very focused, usually taking the steps that require intention, right? They're gardeners, so they're planting seeds, they're building sustainability. They're looking at the future and they're seeing how their steps are unfolding to create a better future for themselves. Is where you're at creating longevity, or is it superficial and temporary? Again, sit back for 3 months. Don't reach out to anybody for 3 months and see what happens. Okay, so you are walking away. We've got the Eight of Swords and reversed. So you are walking away from things that don't serve you. You've chosen to do that. You're also observing where and how you're overextending yourself. You are now starting to sit still. You probably have already decided not to reach out just to see what happens. This is your confirmation to persevere. Again, you did pull the perseverance card, so you definitely are ready to persevere and stay consistent in the choices that you've made. Don't back away now. That is twin flame, runner chaser energy. Anything that we're rejecting, we're running from. Rejection is, why am I rejecting this? Is this something I want? Or so like rejection energy can cause you to avoid, suppress, run, hide, isolate. So if I'm rejecting something, like if somebody walks over to me and I instantly feel rejection toward that individual, the first thing I'm going to do is start talking to him. Hey, how's it going? Like, what about this individual am I rejecting? What sense does that even make? Is this individual vibrating at that frequency within themselves? Are they currently experiencing? Remember, if you're here watching this reading, you are a psychic individual. Your energy is sensitive. You can hear, feel, smell, taste, all the things. And that's it's where you find paralysis. It's where you find yourself isolating because you're feeling all the things, but you may not be hanging out with the tribe or the crew or the people that help you elevate out of that. So clearing your energy is important. That's what we're doing right now. We're clearing your energy. Breathe. You're in alignment. Always have been. There's never been a point that you haven't been. Okay. Vibe holder. That just popped out. Okay, so think of someone you love. Something that makes you happy. Or imagine your favorite place. Leave it in the comments. What is your favorite place? What makes you happy? Leave that in the comments. I read every comment. Hold that feeling. Hold it for as long as you can. The longer you hold on to good feelings, the longer they stay. And those are for you that have just found me. My name is Bobby. I'm a psychic medium, Reiki practitioner, and twin flame facilitator. Okay, we're going to find an angel number. This is your angel number for today. So I got 222. Feminine forces. Relationships, balance, prosperity, efficiency, and patience. So you can do everything by yourself, but life is to be shared. Partner up with the right spirit and you'll become a force. Honor commitments and people around. Don't judge. Listen. That's good stuff. That is very good. So 2222. You got 4 twos. How often do you pull up behind cars? I tell you, from my ride from the grocery store to my house, every stoplight I pull into, like every license plate has a 888 or a 222 or 111. And what that does, what angel numbers do, is it releases endorphins. And your primordial unconscious aspect of yourself, the core frequency of yourself, understands what this means. And then chemicals start to release themselves and you start to feel like, I don't even have to tell you what 222 is. You could just focus on it and then you'll start getting your divine feminine energy will start coming forward. You'll start thinking about partnerships. You may even start to feel a lure to your partner. Maybe you might want to do something for them, something special. But the wonder and awe of that experience. Okay, and so for this current person that's on your mind, because Spirit did ask you to think about somebody that you love, let's see what's alchemizing in between you guys. Your partnerships are the most powerful forces to healing your soul. So we want to embrace them all, even the ones that are hard. The ones that are hard have the most potential. The most potential. Like if I walked into a room with 100 people and one person in that room was, bursting out, acting up, throwing temper tantrums, that's the one I would choose because I know that's the one with the most potential. I want the one that speaks up, shows up, is willing to step outside their comfort zone. Divine order. So, divine timing. Practice patience. Okay, again, we're working with 2 paths. I'm giving you the idea of what each pathway entails. Again, a holy hell yes. And marinate. Allow this to marinate for just a moment. Let clarity come in naturally. Again, divine order. Everything happens exactly when it's ready. When it's ready. It's like you don't want to take the turkey out of the oven before the turkey's done. Okay, so, and this is number 27. 7, 8, so that's 9. Again, a completion. All day has been about completion. Okay. So divine order. So patience is the ultimate virtue. You are experiencing many challenges that teach you tolerance, trust, and timing, all requiring you to practice patience, a major life lesson that you must master for your soul to evolve. This card suggests that you release control and allow divine guidance to direct you, which demonstrates that you trust the process. Practicing patience will enhance your ability to connect with your senses and teach you to let go of the idea that you are the only one who can achieve what you perceive as perfect or the right way. This card implies that you need to get out of your own way by releasing logical concepts and surrender control. Again, logical concepts. As a psychic, energetic being, you are able to tap into the quantum field and project your vision, what you want. It's like jumping timelines. The second you shift your mindset, the energy shifts, and all of a sudden, Bob wakes up and he's different. He's not the same as he was when he went to bed. It happens all the time. This card implies that you need to get out of your own way by releasing logical concepts and surrender control, creating space for you to receive blessings that will far exceed the expectations of your mind. Rushing the process will cause you to make hasty decisions. There it is. So again, 2 pathways. Give it a minute. Let it marinate. Make a commitment to exercise self-control, which will enhance your ability. Again, perseverance, stick to the plan. You're on the right path. Don't question it just because it hasn't looked the way that you want it to. Don't question that. Make a commitment to exercise self-control, which will enhance your ability to live more consciously in the present moment so you can attract your greatest potential. You're on the right path. You are working with some energies, but again, your highest path is going to be mysticism, psychic energy turned into wisdom, taking your past and the experiences, creating tools with those, and stepping into your vision, which is prayer. Ask and you will receive. Ask and you will receive. Okay, you want me to pull a career card? That's the message I'm getting. Let's look at your career. I always say ask and you will receive, and then move forward. What's the next step after you've asked? Because now that you've asked, it's on its way. Perspective. So if you change the way you look at things, you could see everything in a brand new light that will help you get where you want to be. That's great stuff. Okay. Look at that's like the black swan. The black swan. Okay. Let's look again. You are in the growing phase right now, and you must continue to water the seeds you have planted in order to reap the rewards. Again, that perseverance just keeps coming up. Stay the course. You got this. Stay the course. I say that because, man, how many times do we come up to that threshold and we're like, again, right? Exhausted. Just, like you just... And really sit back and review, like, how long have you been consistently, repetitively showing up for this thing that you want to bring in? And how often have you allowed yourself to take a break, step back, and then step back in? I was cleaning my garage last year, and my son, he's a Leo. They're so smart. They're so good. But I walk into my garage and I'm like, oh God, this is a mess. And he's like, Mom, go take a break. I'm like, I just got here. He's like, go take a break. Let it marinate. And I was like, okay, sure. Of course I want to go take a break. I haven't even gotten started. But then I go back in 5-10 minutes later, and instead of standing there looking at it, I get busy. I start executing action. a few minutes goes by and I'm motivated, and all of a sudden again I go back into, and my son's like, go take a break. And I'm like, okay. And it worked. I kept doing that every time I came to a block, because it's a block. Like, I don't want to do this. That was my block. That was my resistance. The second I tapped into that resistance, I went and took a break, came back, went and took a break, came back, because you are taking baby steps. It's very impactful to the nervous system to especially have to go through all your old stuff and review everything and get rid of it's just a lot. It really is. So he was spot on. It worked. My garage got in fact, it got cleaner than it would have ever gotten, because I would have done a half-ass job. I would have gone, if I would have just stuck to it, I would have just kept going and going and going and never taken a break. And then by the time I was done, I would have just probably shoved things into crevices, just pretending like I was complete. But instead, it was served proper. It was good, served properly. Okay, we're going to look at your inner child, and then, oh, look at that. Very good. 2 of Wands. Look at that. These cards crack me up. These are the inner child cards. He's holding his vision in his hands. The Wands represent fire. The 2 represents intuition, listening to himself. Okay. Male or female, doesn't matter. But he's definitely taking accountability, definitely looking at the vision, and he's marinating, standing still, looking out, seeing what he wants. And the High Priestess. It's like he's looking at the High Priestess, right? It's like looking at the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is intuition. So whoever you are, your intuition is heightened. You are amazing. Your psychic energy is amazing. But again, step in, step out, step in, step out. Little baby steps at a time. Again, we've got the Virgo here. So, and cultivation. So you're making all the right moves. You're doing all the right things. You just got to stick to the plan. And I love you guys so much. It's an honor to be here. If this resonates, please subscribe, like, follow. It helps my channel. And you can link your channel if you have one. I'd be happy to follow you back. But I love you.